So there's been a few rumblings recently that Grand Theft Auto 4 could be getting a remaster. Now this all stems from a Rockstar insider, Tez2, who suggested that a spruced up version of the game could be set to release as early as this year, which would essentially be used as a method to almost fill the void that's been created by the delay of GTA 6 to 2026. Now I think that this is really interesting because outside of just this leak suggesting that we're going to get a brand new GTA 4 remaster, we have actually seen a lot of prevalence of Grand Theft Auto, or more specifically Liberty City, in a lot of GTA 6 content. Within the second GTA 6 trailer itself, we have seen a Liberty City biker cap, as well as an actual Liberty City license plate on the back of one of the cars. Not to mention that the main protagonist of this game, Lucia, is actually from Liberty City and is known to still have family living there, so it really wouldn't be completely surprising to potentially travel here within GTA 6, or at the very least have numerous cutbacks or potentially cutscenes referencing her time there. Either way, it's fair to say that the area itself is definitely getting a lot of subtle love recently. Now to me personally, I think that Grand Theft Auto 4 is probably the most underrated Grand Theft Auto title we have ever had. I feel like it's stuck between the raging levels of hype and nostalgia that people have for the likes of San Andreas and Vice City, and then obviously after Grand Theft Auto 4, you had the absolute juggernaut that is GTA 5, which is, the third highest selling game of all time. So to me, Grand Theft Auto 4 is kind of the unsung hero of the franchise. It's just kind of forgotten about compared to the others. So if we were to have it presented with improved graphics and potential minor gameplay tweaks, like for example being able to self-right the cars in driving, this would be fantastic. I think from a narrative perspective, Grand Theft Auto 4 was probably the most grounded story we've seen within GTA, at least when you compare it to the games directly surrounding it, like your Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 5, etc. There were still really big action sequences, as you'd expect in any GTA game, but there was way more power and intrigue actually generated from the narrative itself. I think the main protagonist of Niko Bellic is probably the best main character we've had in GTA, or at the very least the one with the richest backstory. Playing as a former European war veteran already establishes you as a bit of a badass, right? But the way the aftermath of the war that you have played in off screen plays an actual pivotal role into the larger story of GTA 4, it just gives that plot so much more depth and emotion than what you'd have with other games. I feel that playing the role of a man who's just completely tortured by his past always gives the opportunity for growth, which we do eventually see from Niko at the conclusion of the game. His relationship with his cousin Roman is just really wholesome, and seeing the growth of him as a result of you playing as Niko really helps build a satisfying family dynamic. That is, as long as you don't get him killed. Moving away from the narrative, the actual area of Liberty City is fantastic to traverse through. It feels like every single section is just bustling with life, unlike say Los Santos from GTA 5, where you have some really sort of in-depth areas with a lot going on, and then you just have complete deserts where there's just nothing. This just has a full city vibe to it constantly. And it really does truly make you feel like you are in the largest city in the world, obviously with Liberty City being the Grand Theft Auto universe's equivalent of New York City. It feels as if every area is just so densely populated and there's such an atmosphere created, which I personally don't feel like you really have in any other Grand Theft Auto game. I feel like this atmosphere is only enhanced by the use of taxis in the game, which essentially operate as the game's version of fast travel. Now using taxis obviously isn't unique to Grand Theft Auto 4, but again it's that New York vibe, the yellow sort of cabs, it just fits so well, and it's in such a natural manner that it just blends into the actual gameplay itself. Quite frankly though, the most important thing to me is the fact that in whatever capacity we get Liberty City, whether it's as a GTA 4 remaster, whether it's in GTA 6 in some capacity, we get the broken swing set, because that was honestly some of the most enjoyment I think I've ever had in a video game, and it was just as stupid as driving a car into a set of swings and watching it ping to the moon. That needs to be in there regardless of how we have Liberty City. You've also got to take into account with Grand Theft Auto 4 is the fact that it actually had two really good DLCs attached to it. You had the Lost and Damned and you had the Bow the Gay Tony. Now if you're going to remaster the base game, you'd like to think that you'll also have access to all the DLCs as well, right? And to be honest, in terms of actual storylines, those were really solid introductions as a DLC. So if those are something that we could have both included and remastered, that would just be fantastic. Even though we of course all already know what happens to Johnny from the Lost and Damned. However, despite all this hype, one thing we do have to unfortunately bear in mind with this potential remaster is that Rockstar definitely don't have a good track record when it comes to remastering their old games. Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy The Definitive Edition, which released in 2021, was a complete remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City and San Andreas. Now, on paper, that should have been a certified banger of a game. You've got the most iconic Grand Theft Auto titles in there with a visual remaster. It should have been a slam dunk. However, this turned into an absolute dumpster fire on release. It was unbelievably buggy to the point of which it was virtually unplayable in some instances, and the most irritating thing about this all is the fact that this is still the case today. Rockstar didn't implement that many fixes to the bugs, and honestly, it's just kind of been left to rot as a bit of a failure from Rockstar. It's really hard to not feel as if Rockstar did just kind of pump this out for a quick cash grab. And let's be completely honest, if they do that again, especially to my boy Nico Bellic, people are going to be pissed off. Another thing worth mentioning is the fact that Rockstar actually recently shut down a fan-made mod called the Liberty City Preservation Project. Now this is particularly odd to me because Rockstar are usually pretty chill when mods being added into their games, so this action in itself is somewhat out of character, let alone the fact that it's obviously a Liberty City Preservation Project. Why would they shut something down relating to Grand Theft Auto 4 unless they were potentially looking on planning to create something themselves? It's very reminiscent of when 343 Industries shut down the El Dorito mod, which was a Halo 3 mod that enabled PC play, just for the actual 343 studios to then release Halo MCC on PC, so they had all that content there themselves that they could profit from. I don't know, to me this feels like a really weird decision that you wouldn't make unless if you were actually creating something like this yourself. So given everything that we now know so far, I think it is fair to say that a Liberty City comeback in some format is almost an inevitability. Personally, I would love it if we got a remaster as long as it was of a good standard and not a repeat of like the definitive edition, just because I think the actual story of Grand Theft Auto 4 is fantastic. Either way, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually just saw Liberty City itself within Grand Theft Auto 6 in a different capacity. In a similar way to what we kind of had North Yankton in Grand Theft Auto 5, where you just go there for a mission, complete a bit of the story and come back. And also, when it comes to Liberty City specifically, I think it's worth remembering that we have actually seen it brought into other Grand Theft Auto games before, with the map actually being accessible within Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, so this definitely wouldn't be out of the question for Rockstar to do something like this again. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think there's actual legitimacy behind these leaks that we could actually see a Grand Theft Auto 4 remastered? And if we do, is this something that you guys want? Have you guys played it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you are new here and you have enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing as it really does help out the channel. And we're getting really close to 1,000 now, which is crazy. Also, let me know if you want to see a GTA 4 review, because I do genuinely love this game and would happily play through it again for a video. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video sometime soon.